Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending our virtual retirement party for Marguerite Monet, the AIDS Project of Southern Vermont's case manager for 24 years. For those who don't know me, I am Alex Potter, a member of the project's board of directors, and I am emceeing tonight's event to introduce our presenters and to ensure that we move forward in a timely manner. This event will run through 7:45 p.m. to be respectful of everyone's time. First, thank you all for participating in a virtual event. We recognize that this is an unusual time, and we know that this isn't ideal, but we could not let Marguerite's retirement occur without a wholehearted effort at celebrating her long history with us and the many years during which she has given her all for the benefit of the agency's clients. You may have noted that you came into the meeting muted, as we have a number of people on the meeting. Background noise on even one or two computers can make it very difficult for anyone else to hear. Individuals who are speaking and sharing their creativity with us, you will be unmuted in the order of your presentation as I announce you. For all of you on this meeting, however, we invite everyone to leave a message in the chat box, in the Zoom chat box for Marguerite. We know that she is well loved, and it would be wonderful to hear all the many voices that we know are out there wanting to express that. But due to time constraints, we won't be able to open the floor for comments at the end of the meeting. Instead, all of those comments that folks record in the chat box are being recorded, and we're going to compile them into a book for Marguerite. If you would rather not write your comments publicly, you can use the chat feature to send them to either myself or to Karen Peterson privately in that chat box. You can select just us, or you can feel free to email a member of the AIDS Project after the fact. And a big thank you, he is just coming back to the screen, to our former board member, Patrick Brown, for hosting us here at his business, Brown Computer Solutions, which gives us the best chance of uninterrupted internet for this event. So welcome to you all, and we will open the evening with a poem from Lynn Martin, local poet and colleague of Marguerite's since she started at the project, until Lynn's own retirement after many years of service. Lynn?
Alex, I'm clicking ask to unmute. I don't know if she is actually unmuting.
Where did her?
There I am. There I am.
Okay.
Yes?
You can go ahead. Thank you, Liz.
This poem is a very, very, very Vermont farewell, Marguerite. What is this? I don't know what's happened.
You can
I got it. Rivers never say goodbye. Because it is afternoon, the reeds part, reveal a scene from ancient Egypt, transposed onto the hot back of a Vermont river. A profile with beak, one eye regal in its stillness, steel gray wings folded like a morning coat, stilt legs thrust into water in an exact copy of the cattail's grasp, a blue heron. We gasp at this invitation into the mysterious, the hidden surprise, provided by an eye-centered promise of exaltation. This is what it means to be friends, to stand fast in the passing of days. You are leaving, but we are here for you. The choice is ours, to fold back into ourselves or give a shout and explode the heron into the air, visible to all. The bird will rise, 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 with long, even beats of its wings, to disappear into our memories. Wherever you go, remember, my friend, some things are eternal.
Thank you very much, Lynn. Our first speaker is Susan Bell, a longtime colleague of Marguerite's from the time that Marguerite started at the agency until Susan's own retirement. If you recognize the theme here, we are delighted to have this history of so many beloved and valuable staff who devote such a great portion of their careers and their lives to the agency, just as Marguerite has done. Susan?
Working on it, Susan.
Okay,
Yeah, you should be all set.
okay. Thanks, Alex. And thanks, Lynn. I feel especially fortunate to follow Lynn, even though it makes it a little harder because that was so beautiful. And my own words are very prosy, but we certainly feel the same about Marguerite. So I hope that some of that comes through in my words. I know that you each have your own thoughts and memories about Marguerite and her accomplishments over the years, and I'm just delighted to add my own. It's been such a privilege to work with Marguerite. I admire and respect her commitment and hard work so much that it's hard to know where to start. Even geographically, there's a lot to consider. Locally, where the AIDS Project began, here in Windham County. Regionally, where we reached out to expand services to Bennington County. And statewide, where efforts to provide services grew and matured to become an integrated and cohesive system. In all those areas, Marguerite's work has been vital. Her work has been critical in shaping the system of care and prevention for people living with HIV/AIDS and those at risk in Vermont. I know that Chuck and Kathy and others will speak of the many ways in which she made a difference on a statewide level, something I experienced firsthand as well. The best practices for case management, the most sensitive and respectful approaches to confidentiality, the most effective ways to support folks in crisis have been among her gifts to the whole community at large. Many of you have experienced the times she has spoken to colleagues, her many trainings and workshops, her leadership on committees and in groups, and I know you agree. You're going to hear a car going by here now. And going back to the very early days, as you said, Alex, I want to give you an example of my impression of Marguerite before I even worked with her. Like so many who work in AIDS organizations, in fact, like many of you, she was a volunteer before she was on the staff. As was true for so many at the time, someone she cared for was infected with HIV, and she immediately began turning her concern for that person and her great passion for social justice into action and advocacy. So many anecdotes of her early involvement are available, but one of my first memories of Marguerite, before she joined the staff, is of her up on the darkened stage in a theater, wearing what I thought were black pajamas, and moving furniture around for the next scene in a variety show. That show was one of our World AIDS Day extravaganzas, our annual event to raise both funds and awareness, presented each year, of course, on December 1st. It was performed at the Greenhoe Theater, the River Valley Performing Arts Center, in front of a full house. And what was Marguerite doing? She was, of course, as you've already guessed, pitching in as a stagehand. Now I think of that time, in light of her many years at the AIDS Project, as emblematic of her choosing just another way to make sure the nitty-gritty basics get done. Indeed, that the behind-the-scenes work happens, work that goes a long way to make all the rest possible. Soon after that, she came on the staff and brought her high professional standards and dedication to our work every day. When you think about the many advances in HIV/AIDS work in our region and state over the years, many significant events stand out in which she was a key player For example, as I mentioned, expanding our case management services to include 2 counties instead of just 1, helping to establish the local HIV clinic at Brattleboro Memorial Hospital, which I know Deb will speak to, so that folks living with HIV locally could get state-of-the-art healthcare right here in town, instead of driving long, exhausting, time-consuming miles to other providers in Boston, New Haven, Hanover. Establishing and then strengthening relationships in both regional and statewide organizations, such as the PWA Coalition, and becoming a go-to person to lead workshops and training sessions to improve care and prevention in schools. But most of all, she was present to fellow staff and volunteers, and present above all to the people living with HIV/AIDS that she served so well. To me, that is one of her most important and influential qualities, influential qualities, her ability to be fully present in her work every day, as well as in particular times of stress or crisis, not only with those she served, but also with us, her colleagues. Her calm demeanor and her sure hand in responding to difficult times, as well as in the day-to-day, have been essential. It's been a joy to work with Marguerite, and it's been a gift to benefit from her friendship. I wish her all the best in the next part of her journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Susan. Next, we will hear from Deb Jones, who worked closely with Marguerite through the Brattleboro Comprehensive Care Clinic that Susan mentioned for many years to provide high-quality medical services to our clients. Deb?
Well, Marguerite, you certainly worked hard and jumped through a few hurdles to get to this day. This past year, I know, was exceedingly difficult, and we're all witness to your strength and grace as you conquered it, one day at a time. Your exuberant tribe right here is gathered to celebrate this exciting milestone in your life, retirement. What a difference you've made. Almost 17 of your 24 years at the AIDS Project of Southern Vermont, I was privileged to work closely with you in my role at the Comprehensive Care Clinic. You were my right-hand woman. I saw firsthand your ability to think on your feet, your creativity in problem solving, your perseverance for and commitment to our mutual clients in times of great joy and sadness, and in times of chaos and challenges. You inspired me to learn and grow, and I will always be proud to call you friend. There are not many people that are recognized by first name only in a profession, but like Cher or Elvis, from Bennington to Burlington to Brattleboro and back, just say Marguerite, she is that well known. Marguerite said early in her career as a teacher was instrumental in preparing her case management career at the project. She managed to use every bit of her formidable life experience to make an amazing difference in the lives of many. She can meet people where they are and has the instinct to get there without fuss. She connected with the humanity in the person that she was serving and let them make their own choices. She's a great encourager and values every life she touches. She helped many find their own superpowers. Because of the skills she brought, many have learned to honor and love themselves. Her advocacy has taken her from home visits to the State House and sometimes the jailhouse. I know because I got to go with her. She has been fearless but based in reality. I do not think there is anywhere she would not go to combat stigma and stereotypes. I know this is such an innate part of her that she'll continue to do this in retirement. Marguerite, you have a supernatural ability to be in the right place at the right time, to celebrate or grieve with folks, or to hold someone's hand as they left this world. You considered it spiritual and holy work. This has not been just a job, but a solemn vocation in every sense of the word. If you feel tired, my friend, after all these years, it's because you more than did your job. You truly felt it. There are a few things I feel certain Marguerite will not miss about work. Number one, sometimes her days were much longer than they were supposed to be, but she never complained when she had to go to Dartmouth or stayed up all night in the Brattleboro Memorial ER with a client. I know, because I would bring her some breakfast. Number two, the work that did not scare her, but the piles of paperwork and reports that seemed to always be due might have. No more paperwork, Marguerite. Working with you was a great highlight of my career. I just want to say my heartfelt thank you. You always listened. You always had something constructive to say and said it with love. You always offered support and encouragement with steady spirit. I have learned so much from you. Your ongoing friendship means the world to me. So tonight, on this beautiful occasion, Lucia and I wish you an amazing, long, healthy, and happy retirement. It's so well deserved. And don't ever forget, your room is ready. We picture these little flowers from our yard. So this is a virtual bouquet. We love you so much.
Thank you, Deb. I just want to take a moment to mention, I know a number of people have come in since we've started, that remember to put your comments to Marguerite into the chat box, that those comments will be collected into a memory book for Marguerite. Lynn Martin will now rejoin us to share another of her poems. Lynn?
Nope, here's Lynn trying to figure out the mute button again. Oop, except I'm not muted.
There it goes. Sorry, me and computers. Marguerite, this poem is written just for you. And I hope it speaks not only from my heart, but from many of your clients. Oh, shit. Once, when I was lost, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do about this. Sorry. I start again. Once, when I was lost, there suddenly was a smile, a hand, a voice that said, "Come, let us walk." And so we did. We walked the pathways of the mind. We talked the corridors of the heart. We sang the melodies of friendship. When I looked up, Marguerite smiled, and I was found. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn.
Sorry about the phone.
That's fine. Now we're going to hear a pre-recorded message from a colleague from outside of the project. Ruben is going to introduce himself at the beginning of the video, so I will let him speak for himself. And Karen, I'm going to unmute you so that you can go ahead and get that video running.
Is it sharing? I don't see it on mine, so. Is it? No. Is it there? Why are we getting feedback? Oh. we're waiting, did Maeve give Marguerite that first gift, a box of tissues?
Hello, friends, family, and colleagues of Marguerite Monet. Hello, Marguerite. For all who don't know me, my name is Ruben Garza, and I had the utmost pleasure to know Marguerite and work with Marguerite, alongside Marguerite, almost my entire time in Vermont. I moved to Vermont almost 6 years ago and began working at the Southeastern Vermont Community Action Agency, which made me neighbors with Karen and Sue and Kevin at the time, Diane, and of course Marguerite. I now work at the United Way of Windham County, but I still have the pleasure of working with Marguerite in a different capacity, or rather, I did have the pleasure. My experiences with the whole staff at the AIDS Project while being their neighbors was always a positive one, even if our shared clients often put me in a difficult position of having to say no to a certain service. Or I could try. Marguerite had a way of advocating for her clients that made a no turn into, okay, yes, this time. Only this time. Marguerite was good at her job. The way she advocated for her clients also came in handy when she was advocating for me and my choice of Best of Show, Bird Edition. Many of you will not know the bird competition that we would play in the AIDS Project office. It essentially boiled down to this. We had a calendar full of birds, and we would quarterly select which birds we liked the most, and the bird with the most votes got to be the bird of the quarter. Now, we all know how these things can be. It's completely subjective. But we know that essentially it was going to boil down to Marguerite, Sue, Diane, and myself voting down Kevin's pick of the best calendar bird of that quarter. They all know what I'm talking about. And for the record, the ostrich is the best bird. Marguerite's dedication to her community was also evident in other arenas of her work. Marguerite worked alongside with me and others in the community to end homelessness as a longtime active member of the Vermont Commission to End Homelessness as part of the Brattleboro Continuum of Care. Eventually, Marguerite became the co-chair of the Continuum of Care, and as part of that commission, Marguerite's responsibilities were to lead efforts against violence against women, to lead efforts on the coordinated entry, which is, if you don't know, the first step for chronically homeless people to get housed. Some of her efforts as part of the co-chair were tackling veterans and youth homelessness and coordinating a point of time count, which informs the state on the true scope of homeless Vermonters. All this tireless work was done outside of her regular duties at the AIDS Project. Needless to say, it was a lot of work, and it took a lot of commitment on her part, and it took a lot of definite care for her community and the people that live in her community, even the most vulnerable ones. And that kind of care doesn't get replaced soon, and especially not after 25 years of being part of the community. I know I speak for everybody when I say that Marguerite Monet will be missed in this community, and we just hope that she sticks around for a lot longer in whatever volunteer effort she may find suitable for her next role in life. So from everybody at the United Way and Sevka, I'm sure, and personally from me, Marguerite, I hope you have a great retirement. I look forward to seeing you at the Latches someday again. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
All right, next, please welcome Katie Peterson of the Harmony Law, a local a cappella group, to share her beautiful voice that you may recognize from our Walks for Life and World AIDS Day events. Marguerite has always greatly valued Katie's musical contributions to our events and has a particular love of this piece. Katie.
I think I'm muted. Okay, there we go. Hi, Marguerite. Sorry, it's just me and I don't have my comrades with me, but I hope you enjoy this one. Our story's not a simple one. It started long ago, though it's sad to leave a song unsung when it could have made the show. So come and follow me, oh, with footsteps free through the sunlight and the snow. We'll cross the line and we'll take our time. The rules will all be broken when we go. There'll be sorry said and tears to shed. That's the cost of you and me. In the bended vows that our time allows, and a glimpse of what could be. So come and follow me, oh, with footsteps free through the sunlight and the snow. We'll cross the line and we'll take our time. The rules will all be broken when we go. I know in the moments that were stolen that we found ourselves another way to go. And so let the harshest words be spoken if it gets us down this long forsaken road. You and me could never seem to leave well enough alone. Now I find your hand in mine, and I guess we've always known. So come and follow me, oh, with footsteps free through the sunlight and the snow. We'll cross the line and we'll take our time. The rules will all be broken when we go. The rules will all be broken. The rules will all be broken. The rules will all be broken when we go. Love you, Marguerite. Have a beautiful retirement.
Thank you so much. Two folks will now speak, Kathy Kilcourse and Chuck Klateka, who both met Marguerite through the People with AIDS Coalition annual retreats. I believe Kathy will be speaking first, then we will move directly over and unmute Chuck so that he can follow.
Alex, do we unmute her?
I am attempting to unmute Kathy, and I am.
Unmute, so she needs to do something on her end.
Kathy, you may need to click unmute on your own computer as well as me clicking it here.
I can't even see her on the screen.
And why don't we move over and have Chuck speak first, and then we will reconnect with Kathy.
Are you unmuting Chuck? Or you want me to try and find him? Alex,
All right.
you got it?
I am not able to unmute for some reason.
I'm not sure if Chuck is on there. Is Chuck or is
It's Charles. Oh, that's Charles, right.
Chuck on there.
Sorry, folks.
Chuck was there. Is he still there?
Yeah, I'm not actually finding Chuck's name.
Did Chuck leave us?
He may have. He may have stepped off the call. And Kathy, if you're able to hit unmute on your computer, it's that little red microphone down in the lower left-hand corner. And yes, Kathy, that's definitely the issue because you unmute everyone except for the folks who muted themselves. Yeah. I click on unmute and it just will not unmute her.
Yeah, because hers is an ask to unmute. I think she muted herself because you asked to unmute me and I couldn't unmute myself. That's Kathy. Kathy, of course.
Yeah.
Do you want to move on to?
Yeah. What happened to Chuck? Yeah. Yeah, and you said he was up there by himself.
Should we suggest that they? Should we?
Yeah. Yeah. I just announced to Marguerite that we had Kathy and Chuck.
Okay, well, we're not able to get those unmuted. So we are going to move on. And Kathy and Chuck, I apologize for that. We'll want to make sure to connect with you and get your remarks into the memory book. Now, a final poem will be read by Lynn by the poet Mary Oliver. Let me make sure I unmute Lynn. Great. Okay. There you go, Lynn. You're unmuted.
Okay, am I all set?
Yes, you are.
Can you hear me? All right, I chose this poem, Marguerite, because I think that you are the absolute best answer to the last two lines of this poem, and because it's my favorite poem. The summer day. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean, the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand. who was moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who was gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed. Done. Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. And now, at this time, our board chair, Sean Bracebridge, will present the board and staff gift to Marguerite. And Sean, just a moment, and I'll unmute you.
I am here.
All right, am I on?
Yes. Oh, can I unmute me?
And Maeve, are you ready? All right. Well, on behalf of the board, we would like to offer you a special token of our appreciation in honor of your 24 years of service, giving this in a spirit of thanks and gratitude and celebration. So it looks like she's going to open it.
Okay?
Yep.
Oh, you guys, this is too much. Ooh, it's such pretty paper. I hate to rip it. Hey, Kevin. And then you have to hold it up front. It's like a window handle. You guys, look at this. It's beautiful. Can you see it? Look at it. It's a wall, like you put it in your window
Stained
and the
glass.
light comes through. You know, it's funny. One of my favorite sayings, am I muted?
No.
One of my favorite sayings is where the cracks are, is where the light comes in. You guys, this is amazing. Samba.
I think we're all unmuted.
Okay. And Marguerite will also address us a bit later. And at this time, welcome the staff.
Now you hear the real shit.
Okay, Marguerite, just for you, we've spent hours putting this little piece together, and I don't believe Lonnie has made it onto the call yet, so that means, Sue, you have to do double duty. Here we go. We've adapted this song. I'm pulling it up here so I don't miss my verse, okay? Remember years ago we had a volunteer appreciation, and I think it was Marianne at that time that helped us adapt this song to sing to volunteers. So here we go. You are our sunshine,
our only sunshine. You make us happy when skies are gray.
Never know, dear.
Oh, how much? Oh, no, Maeve.
She's muted. How did she get muted?
Who got muted?
How much we love you.
So please don't take our sunshine away.
Thank you, staff. Now last, please welcome
Day jobs, okay?
self, Marguerite, to share her thoughts with us.
Who, me? Yeah.
Yes.
It's my turn. You guys, this is really overwhelming. I'm not used to the attention being focused on me, but it's very sweet, and I am really grateful and appreciative. I want you to know that for the last 40 years, I've been a teacher, a home-based family counselor, and then a case manager at the AIDS Project. Those earlier experiences all contributed to my understanding of my role at the AIDS Project. Actually, my dad said to me, he wasn't a particularly good father, but he was kind of an interesting guy. And Saturdays were our day when I was a kid. And he used to take me, I grew up in Detroit. He used to take me around the city, and it always felt like he knew everybody. He would talk to anyone, you know, the shoe shine guy, the business guy down the street, whatever. And what he would say to me is, everybody's got a story if you're just willing to listen. And it wasn't until I was probably in my 30s that I really got what that was about. And it had a huge influence on me. And this has been the most amazing 24 years. I have met so many interesting and lovely people, whether they were board members or volunteers or staff members, and of course, clients. It's been really great work. People would say to me sometimes, like, well, what do you do for work? And I'd say, well, you know, I'm a case manager at my local ACE projects. And they'd go, oh, that must be really hard. Or, oh, that must be really sad. Or just, oh. But they didn't understand that it was like great work. It was good work. And I never thought of myself as being important or special. I thought of myself as being a team who were delivering services to the disenfranchised. And I always said, like, hey, I get paid to like help people. How cool is that? You know, like that is like the best experience ever. And it's made me grow as a person, and it's connected me to all of you who are just amazing people in your own right. And I'm truly humbled and grateful for this whole celebration. I've been getting flowers and cards and all kinds of stuff. It's pretty overwhelming. I just want to say I really love you guys. And for the clients, I want you to know more than anything. This last year has been really hard for me. Most of you know I was diagnosed with cancer about a year ago. And it's been rugged. And but it's been good for me to come to work and focus on other people and not on myself. And instead of laying around saying, oh my God, I have cancer, I was able to shut that down for at least a few hours a day and come in and help other people. And that was good. That was good therapy for me. And what kept me going was I have watched all of you, the clients, and some of the staff and board members too, struggle with your own health. And I've watched your own courage and determination and grace. And it has informed me how to conduct myself over this last year. And I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for all of the lovely testaments, for the flowers, for the stained glass, for everything. for being my colleagues, for allowing me to help you allowing me to be part of your lives when you were at your most vulnerable. That's a scary thing. I do feel truly blessed, and I'm just overwhelmed with all of your love and affection, and just want you to know that it comes back to you like many, many fold.
Thank you, Marguerite. Thank you, everyone, for attending. And we're going to close the meeting now. And good night.